Welcome back, and thank you for being patient with me for the third part of this talk. I've structured 3 talks, one involving the seance trumpet, seance hand molds, and now this is going to be just a brief talk on some of the memorabilia that was gifted to me by John Austin, who he himself knew Leslie Flint. And Leslie Flint was an incredible independent direct voice medium. He would have been a very outstanding materialization medium if he wasn't scared of the phenomena. With Leslie, he lived at Princes Street in Hove, which was only a few streets down from John Austin's house, who lived at 25A Marine Avenue off Wish Road in Hove. Now, with Leslie Flint, if you wanted a sit-in with him, you would have to arrange it to almost a year in advance. And if you ever wrote to Bram, you would then get a letter like this back. And this letter was given to John Austin for his first seance, where his son, Howard, came through and spoke for almost 15 minutes to his mother, Geraldine, and to John Austin. Not only did Howard come through, but Howard's girlfriend also came through to communicate on this afternoon that they attended the seance. Now, please also remember that with Leslie Flint, he himself used to say that the phenomena was separate to him. And a lot of the times that when you would sit with him, there was sometimes that there were incredible events that took place. Sometimes the voices were barely whispers, and about 40% of them, nothing actually occurred. If nothing occurred at that moment, then another opportunity will go and sit with Leslie, will be presented to you by Bram. But this is the invitation of the confirmation of the seance, which was Leslie Flint, 140 Westbourne Terrace, London, W2, telephone number 01262 8148. And it reads as follows. Dear friend, thank you for your kind letter requesting a sit-in with Mr. Leslie Flint. I am sure that you realise that Mr. Flint receives hundreds of requests, and to arrange an appointment for everyone would be quite impossible. Mr. Flint is only able to hold a very limited number of small group sit-ins per month. If you would like to join one of these, it can be arranged, providing you understand that results cannot be guaranteed and that there is no assurance given that you will receiving any messages. All sit-ins with mediums must be considered experimental, and it is quite possible that no phenomena will take place at all. In the event of, however, of the seance being completely aborted, no charge is made and another date will be offered should you wish to attend again. Providing you fully understand the above proposal, I shall be pleased to offer you an appointment as below. 2 seats in a group seance to be held on November 19th at 11 a.m. The fee would be £2.50 per person. If you wish me to book you in the appointment of the above appointment for you, please send a confirmation letter as soon as possible. Please note that Mr. Flint does not give private appointments, only group seances. With all the good wishes, yours sincerely, B. Rogers, Bram Rogers, Secretary. Bram was Leslie's partner and kept him safe during the seances. He kept him safe from people who would abuse Leslie's gift. And this is another important thing, really, that if any of you are starting to step out publicly with your work, to surround yourself with a person or people that are going to keep you safe, keep your feet on the ground, and be your buffer, because as mediums we have a soft heart where someone says, oh, can I just have a sit-in, can you just do this, and we will say yes, sure, and it can be sometimes to our detrimental against our health, against our mental status, against our well-being. So having someone as a buffer saying, look, I'm really sorry that you've done too many and you need now this time to rest. So this is one of the invites that was again given to me from one of the sit-ins that John Austin went to Leslie Flint, and this is at 140 Westbourne Terrace. When John went for this sit-in, as I said to you, his son Howard came through and gave him proof of survival. Howard passed to the higher side of life through a train crash with his girlfriend and best friend. Leslie Flint knew nothing about the story of John, so the proof was absolute 100%. They also spoke about moving to Brighton. Howard said to John, what's all this talk about Brighton, Dad? And John replied, you should know some, because the train crash happened towards Brighton. He said, no, Dad, you're misunderstanding me. There's talk about you going to Brighton, moving to Brighton. And he said, no, son, I don't think that's going to be possible. He said, Dad, they're talking about it. And then John was relocated and found out that he was living in Brighton very shortly afterwards. Leslie Flint then moved to Princes Street in Hove, and they became good friends. And Leslie and John used to maintain their contact, and especially when Colin was developing, Leslie Flint came in after the passing of his beloved Bram, and Bram came through and gave Leslie complete proof of survival. Also in our possession now that we have a lot of these tapes, which are reel-to-reels, which are the original recordings of the voice sit-in, and it tells you the speed, medium Leslie Flint, sitters, Betty Green and Mr. S.G. Wood original. And this is dated the 20th of May 1968. The reel-to-reels are still very delicate and they remain within their boxes. So this is one of many that we've attained or given. I've not heard what's on these tapes, but I think they would be of great interest when we get the right recorders that can give us the information on there. So this one is Dr. Cosmo Lang on the October 1st, 1960, medium Leslie Flint sitters, Betty Green and Mr. S.G. Woods. Speed is 3 3/4, track 1 and 4. I love things like this because it's keeping our history, it's keeping our memorabilia of voices that are now forgotten, but to make sure that our next generation is going to know what extraordinary things that our mediums went through. And again, I just want to just show you some of these because I think they're just so cool. And Mrs. Creed, and again, very gently, these tapes here. We have got someone who's going to give us the reel-to-reel recorder, and so that we're able to listen to some of these communications, and then hopefully we'll be able to immortalize them forever. A very good condition, medium Leslie Flint. And again, these tiny little things are just so awesome. There you go, another one. There's no date on this one, but I just think it's just awesome. You're probably reading it backwards. But these are reel-to-reels that, again, are a history of this incredible man, Mr. Leslie Flint, who did everything he could, I just dropped you then, to preserve and keep with integrity the seances and keep how natural the communication is. And that's why I will always hold this in a place within my heart, to have the invitation that started John really fully experiencing physical phenomena. Even though that John himself was a physical medium and was maintaining good connection with the spirit world until Colin came along, I just thought this was awesome to have Bram Rogers' signature on the bottom of the invitation there, and trying to keep it alive. So Leslie Flint, you can find out more information on the Leslie Flint Trust. There is a book called Voices in the Dark, which I would highly recommend to you, which you can probably get from the Leslie Flint Trust or from Amazon or from eBay. And just start to listen to the voices, start listening to the information that is being given out at any point of his talks and lectures, and you will hear how natural that he is talking to the voices which are coming and going. And if you are blessed enough to sit with a physical medium and a voice does come through and start talking to you, please use that opportunity to talk back. And if you are blessed to have a loved one come and speak to you, use that opportunity to say exactly what you want to say to them before death silenced them from your ears. And as the medium sits there and blends and realise that everything that happens through the medium is natural and normal. Anyone what creates a big fuss over it, like with the heavy breathing or lots of noise, this is all fuss. This is all fuss that you don't actually need. It's natural, and mediumship should be as natural as breathing in and out. It's as natural as the seasons move from spring to summer, summer to autumn, autumn to winter. All the seasons will move into one another without fuss. So I hope you've enjoyed this little talk and me sharing the invitation of Leslie Flint, giving you a little bit of history that was attained by John through his friendship through Leslie, as well as other people that knew these extraordinary people. We have got documentation of the seances with Leslie, and along with letters from Betty Green herself, as well as many letters from Alan Crosley and other well-respected people who sat with Colin and sat with John to authenticate the mediumship, but also to show you that these people who were highly respected were able to step into a darkened room, and in the darkened room these voices came and spoke to them. So I wish to share some more with you, but I'll do that at a later date. I hope you found it interesting, and lots of love to you all. Take care now. Bye bye.